Good morning. Hi, everybody. A lot of you have been making the pumpkin bread, and you have been giving me such a taste for it. You've been making it and loving it, and I've made this bread so many times, and you know, summer's winding down, now it's fall, and just seeing your bread has given me such a taste for it. So I thought today I would make some. I wanted to make some this weekend to eat all week, but we got too busy for that. So I got up early, I checked, and I had everything I needed. I usually do. That's the beauty of having a really well-stocked pantry. I just had everything, and surprisingly, I even had pumpkin. That's the one that I typically don't have, but I had a can of it. Well, I had two. This is an extra. The only thing I did not have was pumpkin pie spice, and I noticed in the recipe, you guys who've made it might have noticed this, but it said pumpkin spice, and I meant pumpkin pie spice. So if you ever see anything like that, please let me know, like little typos or tiny mistakes like that. I'm pretty sure I meant pumpkin pie spice. I mean, I know I've made this recently and I missed it. So anyway, I did not have pumpkin pie spice, but I did know that pumpkin pie spice is just a blend of other spices. So guess what? I had them. And really it's just cinnamon, ground ginger, cloves, which another iffy one. I don't typically have whole cloves, but I had them. So whole cloves, what else? Nutmeg and allspice. So I just ground up my whole cloves in my coffee grinder. So see, this is what happens. It does turn into a process. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this bread together. So then I had to kind of go back to that. So okay, I found the ground cloves, ground those up, put my pumpkin pie spice together in here. Tastes really good, smells really good. I did take a little taste. And then, what else did I have to do? That was it. I guess I had everything else. Oh yeah, no, the oats. So I typically don't have oat flour because when you have whole oats, all you need to do is throw it in your food processor and grind them up. So I had to do that. So we need 1 cup of oats, but how easy is that? I always have oats. Just grind them up and then you have oat flour. Okay, so it was like a cup of oat flour, got that together, and then, oh, I already put it away. Oh no, here it is. I wanted to talk about this white whole wheat flour. So this is really great for baking because it is a little bit lighter and fluffy, but it's still a whole grain. So try to find white whole wheat and play around with it because it's just the grain, the whole grain is white instead of, you know, the brown color of whole wheat. And it's really nice for baking. And I feel like it surprised me the first time I found it because it's kind of that white, light and fluffy texture. So anyway, so that's that. So I have my dry spices here, and then I already have all my mixed wet ingredients, which is the pumpkin, some maple syrup. I think that might be it. Anyway, okay, so another thing that I decided I wanted to do, one sec. Instead of making pumpkin bread, I thought I would make muffins because muffins are just kind of fun, and I don't know, I kind of like just eating muffins, grabbing a couple if I'm running out the door, and I don't have to slice anything up, which is not a big deal, but I just thought I would try it and see about the baking temps because you know how the bread and the muffins might have a tendency to cook quicker, I'm thinking. So I wanted to do a test so I could let you guys know if you wanted to make muffins out of the bread recipe, you can do that. So we'll try it, and I will let you know later today how they turn out. I know they're going to be delicious, but I hope they cook through and they don't burn. We'll see. What I'm doing is these are Medjool Dates. If you haven't had these little delicious sweet things, they are fresh dates. Oops. And here's, you buy them in the produce section, and they are plump and delicious, and these have a pit inside, so you want to cut, obviously you want to take that pit out. They're really sticky, but look at this, they're sticky and chewy. They are so delicious. I mean, I eat these sometimes as a snack. I mean, you guys might know this by now about me, but I'm not the biggest sweet lover. I'm a salty, crunchy kind of person. But I love these, and just one date will do it. I'll, just nibble on it. Sometimes I put a nut in it or wrap it around an apple, and that's so delicious. Tastes like a caramel apple. But anyway, so we chopped these up, 3 of these, and I'm gonna just put them in there because then you get like a sweet little nibble in your muffin. And we have some raisins. And then I'm probably I want to put some nuts in my muffins. I don't think it's in the recipe. I think it's an option. I don't usually do that because my daughter's allergic to nuts, and I just don't want anything with nuts in them when she's around, but we love nuts. Frank asked me the last time I made the bread, is there nuts in it this time? So I forgot to pull the nuts out, but I'm going to probably put some nuts in this. Let's just see what I have in the freezer. Sometimes I have pecans in the freezer, so I hope so. I know I'm out of walnuts. And that's the thing, you could just make it your own, as soon as you have the basic ingredients down, you might like more raisins. I have a 1/4 cup of raisins in the recipe, but you might like more raisins. You may not want the dates. I added the dates because, I don't know, the raisins are good, but I love these dates, and this just gives it a little more sweetness. I'm missing a pit here. Oh no, here it is. It's like, I do not want a pit in the muffins. Okay, let me just quickly check the freezer. Yay, we do. Not that many, but I'm just gonna add them to whatever we have here. Frank loves to put these in his oatmeal, so he always has some frozen, just so they don't go bad. And they don't really freeze. I mean, they're nice and cold, but they're not frozen through. That's the funny thing about nuts. You can just take them out of the freezer and throw them right into your cereal. So I would suggest freezing them if they're going to be around for a while. Okay, got those ready. And now let's just mix all this together. I'm going to mix the dry ingredients right into the wet. And I'm not sure. Let's do it all at once. I think I needed to do it a little at a time. And you see, I can't remember every recipe. I've made this pumpkin bread so many times. That's what we do. We just make it and then we test it a different way, tweak it a little more. Maybe it needs more cinnamon. We do all that work. So hopefully when you make it, it is just perfect because I have made this so many times. And, sometimes it's just not quite right until you make it a few times. Phil and I do that constantly. Even with Julie, our recipe developer, she is amazing, and her recipes are so good. We are still amazed that, first time I make something, I taste it, it's like, how does she do this? You know how she does it? Because she's in her kitchen making things over and over, tweaking, adding, doing all this, so it's like she does all that. And she still reminds me sometimes if we were talking about a recipe, she'll say, remember this, even though it seems simple, it may take me all day because, if I give her too much work to do or, whatever it is, she sometimes reminds me. And I do forget that because I'm thinking, oh, it's like lickety split. She's got the recipe. You know how many times it took me to make hummus? I mean, what is hummus? 5 ingredients? I could never get the balance right. And I tried over and over. And it's just, I realized that even though a recipe only has 5 ingredients and seems so simple, well, that doesn't mean it's going to taste good. If you have not enough garlic or too much lemon juice or whatever it is, you need the right balance. Ooh, this is looking good. I don't want to overmix this. I get to talking and I'm just playing now. I'm playing with my batter. Okay, we're gonna throw this stuff in. So we're gonna throw all that in. Let me just kind of try to mix it up a little bit so we don't have big clumps of dates in a muffin. And here are our raisins. I'll do the same thing, kind of try to break them up a little bit. Okay, let's just Lightly mix that up. Now I have my muffin lined tin. I'm gonna grab a tablespoon. Okay. Now let's just start filling up these muffin tins. I'm gonna get these in the oven and I will let you guys know later how they come out. See ya.